Thank you so much for watching. You're where you are. I am in Hobart, and it's no sooks, no lefties. That's my gift to you this Sunday night. Lee Hanson joins us now from beautiful Hobart. Can you believe it's a week since we saw each other? The weather ever so slightly different between here and there, and she's all in with the Australian flag and mum today. I love it. Daniel Wilders, of course, with the IPA. He joins us now from Melbourne. All right, let's go to this here. Lee, March for Australia. What was it like in Hobart? What did you think of how it played out today?
It was fantastic, Paul. I was proud to be here in Tasmania, in Hobart, standing by my fellow Australians. It was a sea of blue and red Australian flags and green and gold, and actually got a little bit teary standing up and seeing the great gathering here it was in Hobart. It was a sense of pride for our country and our standing united as Australians in the way forward. So yes, very proud to be here today and stand by them.
Now, Daniel, I'm not going to hide from what I said last week, which was that I was concerned about where this thing was going to go, because some of the stuff the organisers had said made me feel pretty uncomfortable, right? It's wonderful hearing what Lee says about her experience in Hobart. I believe that to be the experience of most people who went to most of these things, especially in regional areas. I'm not trying to lead you to any other answer than the question I'm going to ask you, which is, how do you think it went? Did it go as well, as badly, as middle of the road? What did you think of what we saw today? Because we can't at all ignore that a couple of 100,000 people, at least, around the country decided today was the day to go for a march and do so with the flag.
Well, exactly right. And I think you were right to be wary of these protests, if nothing else, because of the way that the mainstream media tries to portray anybody else that's not a left-wing activist when they turn up to these protests or demonstrations. But I think they went, as smoothly as you could probably think they would. There were some people there that obviously acted in a way that would have been better if they didn't. But the overwhelming majority of people are there for a few reasons. One of them is to actually raise the profile of the issue of mass migration and the effect that that's having on our country. It's dividing our nation. It's turning us into a very balkanised society where we have all of these enclaves that have developed, acting as a solvent on our majority culture and sending our economy backwards. And I think the thing that's most galling about this issue for so many mainstream Australians is that the entire political class is in defence of mass migration, whether it's Coalition or Labor. They've supported this policy for a long time. Now, obviously, the current government has put it on steroids to prop up the economy because nothing else is going right on that front. But, I think the vast majority of Australians want a significant cutback to the size of the intake, and that's what the impetus for these protests are.
Yeah, Lee, I can't help but think that part of the motivation about now, like why this weekend, right, was we have seen, obviously, things change in the United States. We've seen our mate Nigel Farage and I don't know about your social media, mine as well, has just been exploding with examples of people with pride in the Union Jack and the raising of it all over the country. It is inspiring to see. But obviously we had a federal election in May. Do you think that this is a new movement that has new people to it that can maintain, for want of a better term, maintain the rage for 3 years to change the nature of our parliament? And how do we make sure that the positive parts of the movement do keep existing for the next 3 years and it's not just a one and done a few months after a pretty decisive election, one that disappointed me, but still pretty decisive?
Yeah, look, absolutely. The tides are turning, and we saw that today across Australia-wide. One of the most disappointing things is this was an opportunity for our politicians and our government to come out to grassroots and listen to us Australians and what our concerns are, and they were simply not there. Instead, the messaging was fear-mongering for us Australians not to turn up, not to have a voice and not to raise our concerns, instead being branded as racist or supremacist, which was simply not the fact in any way, shape or form, or nor did I see any of that kind of behaviour here in Tasmania. So great opportunity for our politicians to come out and represent us and listen to the people, but where were they? Nowhere to be seen. So this is actually going to be a wake-up call even more for Australians. It's going to go against them. We need our politicians to listen to us, and because they were not there, you wait and you watch and you see. People are starting to realise they're waking up. They know that their politicians are not representing them, and this is only going to grow. It's actually only going to stir people up even more. We're being told that we are un-Australian if we attend. What a load of absolute hogwash. You are un-Australian if you do not stand by this country and if you do not support this beautiful nation and have an interest in our future. You are un-Australian if you burn our flag, not by carrying it with pride and honour. So yes, the tides are turning. We need to keep gaining momentum, but do it respectfully and peacefully, which is what was done today. So I do expect more of these marches and other events to occur in time.